as you can see, there's really not much left down here other than the 350, and that's what I'm going to address. The first thing I want to do is catch all the fish, and that's also the most stressful part of the whole thing. As you know, I've got Maxwell, the knife fish, in there, and he really likes to hide, and catching him is going to be a pain, I think, but everybody else should be easy. So what my plan is I'm going to grab a piece of bloodworm, because that's what he likes to eat, and I'm going to hold it on the back side of a net, so that way he swims into the net, and I'll just catch him up like that. And if that goes to plan, then this entire process is going to be very stress-free. Well, maybe I shouldn't say stress-free, but with as little stress as possible. I began the entire process by attempting to catch Maxwell. He initially came out to get some worms, but immediately retreated into the shadows because he knew I was up to something. I tried to get some of the other fish in the process as well, but that proved to be much more difficult than I expected. So I went on to remove the plants and begin dismantling the system. Little bit of a change of plans. I was not able to get him, unfortunately. He was too keen for my schemes. So what I'm going to do is just continue dismantling all of this, and then I'll drain the water down pretty low, and hopefully I should be able to get everyone. Before the water gets all stirred up, I filled a few buckets so that I have somewhere to put the fish as I catch them. I had to work quickly and netted up everyone as I went. I knew there were a lot of fish in here, but I think I underestimated just how many until now. It's cool though because I've had a lot of these for about 10 years now. That was really stressful, so I tried to work as quickly as possible. Back here with the stock tub, and then I got all the fish here and the driftwood. I'm going to put the driftwood in so that the fish feel a little more secure, and then we'll get them in there. I moved Maxwell first, who I kept alone to minimize stress. Then I added the rest of the gang. Now that it's completely drained and I got all the fish at the other house, I gotta take this apart. And when I say take it apart, I mean literally take the entire tank apart. So I cut through the silicone, separate all the panels, you get the deal. It's just too heavy on its own, and it was such a pain to move, even just from the garage into here, and trying to move it on trucks. I don't feel like dealing with any of that, so I'm just gonna take it apart, and I'll tell you what I'll do with it later on. Taking this apart really is no different than any other glass aquarium. I'll just have to cut through the silicone seams and separate the panels. I started on the right side and pulled off the glass with ease. This gave me access into the tank where I was able to remove the rest of the materials. Then I removed the other side, which was quite easy as well. I had to enlist my dad's help for the other panels though. We got the front off no problem, but then it happened. Well, naturally I wasn't recording because I thought we'd be alright, but when we tried to get the last piece off, it just started tipping and we had no choice but to let it go, and it exploded.
There's blood.
And there's blood. We're alright though. And came the annoying task of cleaning up all the glass. There was a lot of it, so it took well over an hour to get it all. At this point, all of the animals have made it to the new house, except for what's here in the quarantine area. It's all fish, so I'm going to have to drain these out, get them into buckets, and move them over to the new place. I did the same as the tanks before. I drained some water into buckets and netted up the fish. Although all these fish won't be housed together in the future, it was easiest to put them all in a single tank for now. That said, the pea puffers of course have their own tank. Eventually I'll redo this and move them up into my wife's office since they're technically her fish, so that will clear up some space for future projects. So at this point, all of the animals from the animal room are officially at the new place, and all that I have remaining are the goldfish, which are under that plant right now, and my sunfish, which are in the front yard pond here. Anyway, so I'm gonna go and gather up the goldfish now, and I'll get the sunfish at a later time. Getting all the goldfish this time around was much easier. I removed the plants so I could see them, and filled some buckets to put them in. Then I went through and netted them all up. Back at the new place, and it was just a matter of putting everything in the tub. I'll talk more about how I have this and the one from the previous video set up at a later time. so here we are back in what used to be the old animal room for the final time. Or I'll be here again because I got to get my computer desk over from the corner there, but this is the last thing that I'll ever film in this room, and it's definitely, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting kind of choked up just looking around here. Obviously it looks way different than it did with all the animals in here. I put a new carpet in because I ruined that old one from moving tanks and that kind of thing. Repainted it, you know, make it more palatable for someone else, but it's sad because I know this is no longer my space, and I'm very appreciative and thankful for it. I was able to do so much out of this little area, build the channel, do so many cool projects. I mean, I can just think off the top of my head so many things that I did in here, and I just felt at home here for a while, but as you know, over time I started to feel confined by it and limited by it, and one thing led to another, and moving and getting a more adequate space to do what I do, it seemed like the best option, and I really do think it was. But if I'm going to be honest, this was honestly one of the hardest and most stressful things I've ever had to do. Sure, we've moved before, but we didn't have a house currently. We were just moving from our parents' houses into our own. Whereas with this, we had this one. We had to fix up a few things to, you know, get it ready to sell. And then our new house, which is where we're living now, it needed a lot of work, and it still does. So we were doing that, fixing this house up. And it's stressful to move all of the animals, which I'm happy to say, despite the fact that we broke the 350, we cracked the 150, lost a few small fish initially, it was actually a pretty seamless process. That took a lot of stress off of me because moving the animals and everything, it always makes me very, I guess, scared, anxious, whatever, because a lot of them are pretty finicky, like the Suriname toads, but they're eating, they're acting totally normal again, so everything's good with all of that and the other animals. So I have a lot of relief in that department, but it's just been very stressful because there was so much I had to do, and I really didn't want to do 3 videos in this style, you know, the vlogs kind of showing everything that I've been doing down here and just getting everything ready. It's not really the type of stuff that I want to show, but given everything else that I had going on, I wasn't able to make these dedicated projects and just do things as I typically would want to do. But starting next week, I'll finally be able to just get back in the rhythm with that. I actually have my computer set up now for the first time in well over a week. I haven't even had it, so that, and I haven't really been on my phone in the past month at least, and my hair needs cut, I need to shave. You know, there's so many things, just basic stuff that I've let go by the wayside because I've been so busy with all of this. And I don't know, I don't really want to complain about stuff or come across as though that's what I'm saying, because it's not. I'm very thankful and appreciative to be able to expand and do all that kind of stuff. And as I said, I'm thankful for this little room, because without it, I wouldn't have been able to springboard and do the things that I'm going to do next and do the things that I've done previously. And I don't know, that's the end of this part of the SerpaDesign journey. It's been a good time. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's gonna do it for this one. Sorry that it's not really that much content, but it's kind of like every now and again I want to do these heart-to-heart type videos. I know it's not really the point of the channel, nor is it what I want to be the point of the channel, but every now and again I like to talk about stuff. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this little journey of getting everything over to there. I cannot wait to show you what's next. I can really just go full steam ahead on all of that because I've sort of been hindered by having to get all this ready to put it on market and whatever, but we're just about there. I'm done here. This room is ready to go, and so is the rest of the house. So anyway, I appreciate all of your support throughout this journey, your patience for me not doing, I guess, the regular content, however you want to put it. And yeah, so that's what I got. I'll be I should be active on Instagram here again soon because I really haven't been. Same with the community post, and I'll have to get in the comments a little bit because I haven't even been looking at them much lately. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Until next time, Serpa Squad, take care and peace.